All right, guys. So today is Super Saturday. For those of you who do not know what that is, every Saturday we have some amazing weekly calls. So we had one today, the launch call hosted by our one and only global executive, Otilia. What that call is for any new people who want to get really in depth with how we launch properly here. And then we also have our builders call, which is hosted by me today. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Megan Savage. I am a diamond executive here in GCC. And we have these calls, like I said, on a weekly basis at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where some of the leaders come on and they drop the secret sauce on how you can amplify your business and scale your business to absolutely like unlimited levels. All right, guys. So we'll also go over mindset as well as some stuff with social media as well. But today I wanted to ask you guys. So I see some faces. I see Kenzie. I see Mai. Ovi, how you doing? You guys looking at your phones? What's up? What's up? I'm up here. Eyes up here. Eyes up here, guys. So, oh, notepads. I love that. I love that. Who else has their notepads ready? Perfect. Dakota, Rachel, I love that. All right, guys. So today we're going to go over something super, super important. Okay. But I want to ask, who was on Christian's emergency call yesterday? Drop it in the chat. Trick question. Everyone should have been on that call. The recording is out. So if you were not on that call, your assignment is to go back and watch that recording. It's super, super important. But I want to ask you guys, what are we running for this month? What is the goal this month? PE, absolutely, platinum executive. So that is a core rank here in GC. It is a super big deal. And that is actually the main source of the campaign this month, is we all want to get you to the paid rank of platinum executive. So it's super exciting. Now, when I was asked to host this training, I was asked what my strength was. Okay. So I was going to do something about recruiting, but I really, really wanted to dig deep and ask myself, what value can I bring to you guys? Because for those of you who don't know me, you probably have heard this story, but I've actually am originally from Calgary, and I came here for a 90-day run to Toronto to be around some of the top leaders here in GCC. And I was able to scale my business in a month and hit diamond executive. And I think the reason I did that was because of my coachability. Okay, so just a quick reminder, what are the 3 things a person needs here to be successful? Drop it in the chat. I'm going to quiz you guys. Coachability, yep. Coachable, hungry, I was going to say willable. Hungry, willing, and coachable. Yes, 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 absolutely. Awesome. So this is what I'll be going over, is the secret sauce on how I was able to have my mindset go more to being more coachable. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I want to know, how coachable do you guys think you are? And be honest, it's okay. It's okay if it's low. 10? Ooh, I like that. I like that. 10, 10, 8. Okay. Okay. We got some pretty high numbers. I would say, honestly, guys, I'm about an 8. And the reason I'm going to say 8 is because I've caught myself before making, having my ego get in my way. I've caught myself before saying no, which I will go over. 7. Okay. We got some pretty big numbers. I like that. I like that. So I guess what makes a person coachable, right? And some tidbits about that is being coachable and teachable has the characteristics of wanting to learn more. You are constantly in a student mindset. Okay, guys, like no matter your past, no matter your age, no matter anything, you want to reach the highest version of yourself. That is the whole baseline of being coachable. Okay, so it doesn't matter any outside factors, you just want to reach the next level. Now, you need to ask yourself, what is your capacity as a leader? Okay, so how far can you go and how much are you willing to do? How much can you do? Now, this stems more from ability rather than anything else. And the reason that that's important is because you have to have a certain skill set. You have to have some ability. And it's more so what you've done in the past. And the reason that that's important is so you can measure what you can do in the present and the future. Right? You need to push yourself to your levels till you hit that wall. And then once you hit that wall, that's when you can start building stepping stones. Okay. But it's not just about that. It's also about your attitude. Okay. It's not only can you do something, but will you do something? Now, I wanted to talk about a little bit of a story here. So who played sports in school, in high school or middle school? Yeah. Yeah, I played a lot. I played volleyball, track, but I want to talk about basketball here. So, and it's actually funny because it's my weakest sport. But oh, sorry, I'm just letting some people in here. But yeah, so we were on an all, I was on an all girls team, and we were going to a tournament. Okay, so it was one of those things where we had like 6 games that we were playing that day, and on the 3rd game, so we had 3 more games afterwards. We had a player on our team, and her name was Ashley. Okay, she was super super good. She like eat, sleep, and dreamed like basketball. It was crazy. And anytime she had the ball in her hand, she always would score. Like she'd always make the basket. She was really hard to get the ball from. She was just super super talented. Okay, but the thing is she let her ego get in her way, 110%. Because when the coach would tell her to run a certain play or pass a certain players, she wouldn't do it. She thought that she knew best, and it ended up costing us one of the games. And the reason that that's important in a tournament, I'm sure my other athletes know, is like it drops you down, so you actually can't you can't take the first place. And I don't know about you guys, but assuming that you're here, you're all champions, you want to be the best of the best, you want to take the first place, right? So it ended up costing us one of the games. And even though it wasn't a big deal for most of the team, and even though Ashley was the best player, she ended up being benched the rest of the tournament. So that goes to show it doesn't matter how talented you are. If you're not coachable, you are replaceable. Okay, like that. It's write that down. That's a bar. I see Daniel's like immediately writing it down. That is a bar, 110%. So you need to have both. You need to have both the mindset and the ability in order to change your life. Okay, so I want to tell you guys a story. I said I was only an 8 on the coachability scale. Okay, now the reason I say that is because I remember when I came here, I had the mindset that it doesn't matter what Rosanna or Christian told me to do, I was going to do it. If they told me to message 500 people a day, I'm going to do it. If they told me they didn't tell me to do that, by the way, but if they did, I would do it. If they told me to speak a certain way, do something, I would just go in, no questions asked, and do it. And when I came here, guys, to get global, when I hit global, I did it myself. It was in Calgary. I learned my own system, and not to toot my own horn, but I think I was a pretty good presenter. But the thing is the way I was doing it was not effective. It was not effective. And the reason we're here is to work smart, not hard. Like obviously the hard workers are going to be good, but we want to do things more effectively, right? Like we don't want to be here messaging for hours on end, not sleeping, putting our health in jeopardy. We want to have an effective business, an effective system. And my presentations used to be an hour long. Okay, used to be an hour long, all directed towards trading. So anyone who wanted to do the affiliate side, they didn't really get much from me. Okay, so when I came here, I had to completely start from ground up. So I was doing my presentations, and for those of you who have not been to the office, we have our own office room, and then we have these little pods where it's like soundproof, and it's like for one person. And I would always go to the pods to do my presentations. Okay, so I didn't want to do it in front of Christian and Rosanna because I was super nervous. Like my heart would beat like fast, and I just couldn't do it. Okay, I was really, really scared. And the thing is I was hitting a streak of when I wasn't signing anyone up. Something was wrong, right? But obviously they couldn't coach me if they didn't know what I was doing. So I remember Christian looking at me and he's like, yo, you need to present in front of us. And guys, I kept making excuse after excuse after excuse. I was like, oh no, this one's for my team. I can't do it. Oh, you know what? This one's like super last minute. I'm just gonna go do it over here. And I just kept making an excuse. And then finally one day he's like, so the next one, you're gonna present in front of us. And I was like, okay, bet. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Guys, when I tell you, it was a minute before the call. It was a minute before the call. I picked up my whole computer and ran out the door. Like it was pretty bad. I still remember the look on their face when they were not impressed. And it stung because Rosanna's calling me out. But what hurt the most is before I left the room, Christian was like, oh, I thought you were coachable. And that really hurt. Yeah, I see Dakota's face like that. I still remember it vividly because I went to my cubicle, I did my presentation, and then I actually cried, guys. Like I was like upset because you have to understand, I came here with the mindset that no matter what, I'm just gonna listen. I'm just gonna listen. And when I didn't do that, like a big question I want you guys to ask yourself is, do you maximize and utilize every opportunity for your growth? Do you do that? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you honestly think, like, put in the chat, do you think you guys do that? Because for me, that was my goal. No matter if I had an opportunity to grow, I wanted to do that. And when I said no, Otelia over here, yes, yes, I'm trying to. Okay, I like that. Not every time. I like the honesty. I like the honesty. Dakota, I think I do. Santos, nah. Okay, that's good. That's good. But I'm gonna change that. Okay, perfect. And that's the thing, guys, is I'm glad that that situation happened because I think about it every day. And now when I'm told to do something, even if it makes me like super nervous, I know that every time I do something, it's going to improve my skills. So that's exactly why I do it. I go in with the mindset that either I'm going to stay exactly where I'm at, or I'm just going to do it and grow. Either I'm going to fail and learn from it, or I'm going to succeed and I'm going to learn from it. Either way, it's a learning experience. You have to have the student mentality. Okay. So a quote that I want you all to write down because it's bars is by John C. Maxwell, and it's beyond ability, coachability will take you further than anything else. Okay. So beyond ability, coachability will take you further than anything else. That again, super sticks with me a lot. So this is Santos over here with the fire. So this is why for this training, I have some tidbits for you guys on how to really work your coachable mindset. Okay. So how to be coachable. Number one, put your ego to the side. You want to humble yourself, and any criticism that you get, you need to use it as fuel and you need to use it as energy. Okay. You need to understand that your mentor wants what's best for you. They're here to compress your time frame, guys. It's like a video game, okay? Who plays games here? Drop ones in the chat. Who plays games here? No one? Is it just me? Am I the only gamer here? One? Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. So when you play the game the first time, okay, it takes you a while because you don't know the side quests, you don't know where the enemies are, you don't know where all the secret chests are. Like it takes you a while to learn the dynamics of the game. Okay. The second time you do it, you're going to do it faster. And just like the third time, the fourth time. And then soon you're just able to like get it done super, super fast. Right. So that's sort of the exact same principle. Is the reason we have mentorship, guys, is for them to compress our time frames. Right. Like it's you need to look at the bigger picture and always be seeking knowledge and experience from people who are the best of the best in the industry. And I don't mean to be that girl, but the thing is that we are super spoiled here, especially in GCC. Like we have amazing systems. We have amazing mentors that like really care about your guys' success. The fact, like, for example, me and Rosanna were at the office when Christian was making this campaign, guys, like a lot of effort goes in to us, gets poured into us. So we really need to make sure that we have our egos in check and understand why we're here. All right. So that's number one. If that makes sense, any questions? Because I'm going to go through these. I want to make sure that this is drilled into your guys' mind. Because if you actually take what I say today and apply it, there is no reason each and every one of you I will not see in that platinum executive chat. There's absolutely no reason. Okay. So drop a 1 if that makes sense. 1. Perfect. That TikTok. Perfect. All right. So number 2, you need, and this is the one that I struggle with the most, guys. So listen twice as much as you speak. Okay. So you want to be present and you want to be observant. And this is actually funny because when I talk to people and they're like, I'm very introverted, I'm not going to do well here because, I'm not, like big and full of energy and whatnot. Actually, introverts do the best here. They do the best because they can duplicate, because they listen. Too many people nowadays, okay, they're too busy seeking attention that they don't pay attention. That's a bar, write it down. But the Daniel over here. And that's the problem. Okay. If you when I learn, I want to say, like, for me personally, like I learned the most, not necessarily on the days where I was getting training, even though like it was fire training, but on the days where I just watched like Christian, Rosanna, and Edwin just work. When I watched them, how they spoke, you know, how they handle themselves in certain situations. Like that's when I learned a lot because I was just watching and I picked up certain things that they said or that they would do and I implemented it into my team. Do you know what I mean? So it's very important to like really duplicate. Duplication is the name of the game here, guys. We want to be successful, but we also want to take people with us. We want to build like a long sustainable business and help them do the same. So if that makes sense, drop a 2. Atilia, you are not introverted. Okay, maybe. Actually, I shouldn't speak. I shouldn't speak. But Atilia, I know is not introverted. All right, so 3. Okay, guys. You need to step out of your comfort zone. And we say this a lot in this industry, but you definitely need to step out of your comfort zone. Oh, thank you, Rosanna. Especially when it comes to mentorship. Okay, so do not be afraid to approach someone who inspires you, because the moment that you think that they're out of reach, they become out of reach. Okay, like another story. I keep relating it back to me because this is how I did this training. But I remember when I think I was executive. I actually messaged Christian in all caps and was like, "Notice me, I am here," in all caps. And that's the thing is like, you guys are gonna have multiple mentors throughout this experience, and all of them are gonna give different, you know, perspectives and enlighten you in different ways. But the thing is if you're too nervous to even make yourself, too nervous to make yourself noticed, then you're not gonna get anywhere, right? So you just be comfortable with stepping out of your comfort zone. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. Oh, I like that. No, drop a 3 if that all makes sense. Perfect. Only 2 people? We got some confusion. I see y'all taking notes, so I'll assume that that's why. If you have questions, guys, make sure to drop them as we go. I really want to make sure that this sticks. Okay, so number 4. Now this one I feel like is my strength out of all of them. What sacrifices are you willing to make the sacrifices needed to get the best training for you and what you want to accomplish? Now the reason I say for what you want to accomplish is because even though we all have big goals, like we all obviously all want to build a business and want to help people and whatnot, our goals will be slightly different. If you want to look deep into it. So for what you want to accomplish. Okay. That's why like some mentors, you know, they might give perspective, but you guys might not align. Do you know what I mean? Like you guys might have different views, but when it comes to sacrifices, like guys, what would you be willing to sacrifice to get the answers, pretty much, to get access to the right mentor, the right training, the right coaching? What would you do? Everything. Like, and is that like paying a monthly fee? Is that giving up Netflix? Is that, you know, being like having people make fun of you for what you do? Is it packing up all your stuff and moving across the country? Like, what are you willing to do to get that? Do you know what I mean? And something that I want to like add on to that is if it's not everything, if it's not, well, you know what, I'm okay with giving up this long nights, you know, if it's not, you need to recheck your why. You need to recheck why you're here. Because for me, I'm gonna speak for myself. This is my everything. This is my all in. Like I would literally give up everything, and I've given up a lot to be here. Do you know what I mean? So you guys really need to have that mindset that if you don't want to give up watching that extra episode of Dahmer or watching, you know, TV and whatnot, then maybe your why is not strong enough. Okay. So I see Dakota answered, but I actually want to know, what would you guys give up? What would you guys sacrifice? Tell me. Anything and everything. I like that. It's good. All my time. Okay, I like that. These are the answers I like to see, guys. So drop a 4 if that all makes sense. Perfect. 444, angel number. Love that. Okay, number 5. Don't make excuses. Do not make excuses, guys. It's natural. It's a natural instinct when we hear something that's negative about us or something that we've done to try to justify and make excuses for it. It's natural. I catch myself doing it all the time. But that's the trick, is you need to catch yourself. Like you need to actively like, oh, I'm doing this, and then like take a step back. Because the thing is either you're gonna have 6 months of progress, or you're gonna have 6 months of excuses. I absolutely love that line. It's one of my favorite things. But instead of focusing on the problem, like focusing on like trying to explain yourself, focus on listening. Okay, because for your relationship with your mentor to work, you need to have 110% accountability for you. They're not here to babysit you. Okay, they're here to help you grow. You need to have that mindset. And oh, I wanted to drop this as well, and it's something that really helped me with restructuring my mindset. Who has read The Compound Effect? Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good, and I recommend it to my team. And it pretty much it really stems about just taking accountability. Even the stuff that you wouldn't normally take accountability for, you should start taking accountability for. And like is the easiest way I can explain it. If you've not read it, please go read it. Please go read it. Okay. It's awesome. I have a free version. If someone wants to reach out to me, I'll send it your way. But it's a really good book. But back to that is just you really need to catch yourself with making excuses. So I'm sure you guys have heard the whole saying before that a person won't change unless they want to. I'm sure you've heard that, especially when it comes to, breakups and stuff. Oh, they've changed. No, they've not changed. Like you need to remember that. It sort of goes the same with your mindset. So this will not stick with you guys unless you are actively working to do so. Do you know what I mean? So drop a 5 if that all makes sense. 5, 5, 5, 5. Kenzie over here dropping the angel numbers. Dropping the angel numbers. Awesome. Okay. Okay. So number 6, you need to ask questions. Okay. Don't do it out of anger. Don't do it out of being defensive. But when you're doing something, when you're receiving constructive criticism, you need to want to know how to improve it for the next time. So you need to ask questions like, okay, well, how can I improve here? Like, what did I do that was right? What did I do that was wrong? Strengths and weaknesses. Like, you need to be able to ask those questions. But another like key factor that I noticed is you have to like, how do I explain this? You need to show your mentor that you want it. Do you know what I mean? So you need to actively seek out criticism. Don't avoid it. And I feel like that's a huge problem with some people is that like, including myself in the beginning, is I wanted to do everything right. I wanted praise, right? I wanted recognition. And so when I would get that criticism, it would sting really bad, but you need to want that criticism. You need to want to build yourself, right? You need to want to be the best version of yourself. And if you notice, all of these points go back to what I said in the beginning of just being a student. And if I could simplify everything I just said, guys, it's just being a student. Okay. So the thing is I don't want you guys to worry when it comes to your skill level. I don't want you to worry about your ability. I hear a lot of people like, and they tell me they don't think they could do this because they couldn't speak in front of someone, or they couldn't message people, they couldn't cold message people, like all this other stuff. But guys, like ability can be taught, and so can mindset. Like all of the strengths that I have now, I've learned through being coachable. I've learned from being coachable. So that's why for this training, when I could have went through all kinds of other things that I've learned, but I'd rather go back to the basics, which is coachability. I cannot preach this enough. My team who's on here knows how much I preach about it, just like self-development, because they go hand in hand. Self-development and coachability are hand in hand because you're wanting to learn, right? Right? Awesome. So drop a 6 if that all makes sense. It makes sense. I like that. I like that. Awesome. Awesome. Now, I did want to just bring up something because I did forget to bring it up in the beginning. Okay. Coachability. It's just like when I was talking about self-discipline before on my last training, I was talking about setting up your environment. I was talking about even starting with the little things. So for example, if you wanted to like drink more water, it's all about habits. So like have your glass of water by your bed full before you go to sleep, and then in the morning drinking that water, right? So coachability also aligns with that. So for example, when your mentor is like, hey, make sure you attend these calls with your cameras on and taking notes, they're not saying that for their benefit, they're saying it for yours. But that those little steps, they look out for that to see how coachable you are, because there's different levels of coachability, right? So I just want you to keep that in mind when your mentor tells you to do the little things. Okay. Besides that though, I do want to leave it open while I do my last little ramble. If you guys have any questions for me when it comes to coachability, definitely drop them now. But the biggest thing I really want to stick with you guys is, like, this campaign could change your life. Now is the time to really hunker down and grow. Guys, when I tell you, when I was an influencer, I would die to be in the Platinum Executive Chat. You can ask Joy. You can ask Joy. Every time she told me that she had like Tilly's over here agreeing. Like anytime Joy was talking about, oh, I have to go on a plat call, everything else, I was like, oh, I want to be on that call so bad. Like, this isn't fair. Like, I was upset. And now that I'm in that channel, there is so much value being dropped. And the fact that, like, we're getting these trainings this week for this campaign from Norhan, from Heba, from Christian, like, guys, they're going to drop everything you need to hit huge ranks like IPA, Diamond Ambassador. Like, they're going to be dropping everything you need. And when people were telling me when I was executive and influencer, like, yo, it's a different level. It hits different in those chats. They were not lying. They were not lying. Okay. So that's a wrap for me. That is a wrap for me. But I do want to let you guys know, if you guys have any questions after. Oh, what switched your mindset to the? Ooh, I like that. I like that question a lot, Kenzie. That's good. So what switched your mindset to not take the criticism to heart? To heart. I like that. Little R. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I still do take it to heart. And it's really important because I learned that you don't want to be overly sensitive. Yet, like, I wouldn't want something as silly as my emotion to stop me from achieving my goals. And I'm pretty sensitive. I'm a Cancer rising, okay? I'm really sensitive, but but the thing is I had to really understand, and that's sort of where your relationship with your mentor comes in, is you have to understand that they really care about you and everything that they're telling you to do. I'm realizing now when they give me hard criticism, that shows me how much they care. They're like that friend, well, they're not a friend, but like they're like that friend that, you know, when you have like something in your teeth and everyone else doesn't tell you, and then they're like, hey, you go clean up, go clean up. They're that person, except on a much extreme, like a more extreme level. And once I really switched my mindset to be like, oh my gosh, these people actually care. They actually care about me and they care about my success, is when the criticism, I started to like the criticism. You can actually ask Christian Rosanna. I'll be like, so tell me more, give me more, tell me more. So I hope that answers your question. But yes, so if we don't have any more questions in here, I just want to let you guys know, like, I truly believe in all of you. I'm really, really, really excited to see how this campaign will play out. If you guys have any questions afterwards, because if you're anything like me, I always have like 5 questions like the next day, feel free to reach out to me. I love to hear about your journey. But guys, like I said, there's absolutely no reason why each and every one of you cannot hit Platinum Executive with all the tools and applying what I just went over with you. Besides that, for our newbies, like I said before, make sure you add into your calendar 3 p.m. on Saturdays, Eastern Standard Time. We do have our builders call as well as our launch. For those of you who are super new, if you go into the 1000 Champions chats and hit the pinned messages, there's actually a full list there of the weekly calls. Make sure to add them to your calendar. And tomorrow we have our rich call, which is Realize I Create Happiness. And our 6, 7, 8-figure earners, that's when they go on and they drop some tidbits about how we can scale our business, develop our mindset, leadership styles, and they give us their secret sauce. So make sure that you tune into that. But besides that, I hope you all have a killer Saturday. And if you guys want that extra challenge, I want you guys to go ask your mentor how you can be more coachable today. Okay, so good luck. I'll see you guys in the chats and keep killing it. Okay.